Dave is in the chat. Dave, I have a quick question before we get going. Do I sound and look okay? Does everything seem to be in working order? Because I'm going to try something that I haven't done before, ever. So just give me the thumbs up, and I'm going to attempt to do a scripted short. I've never written anything for any of my podcasts. As you guys probably know, usually my podcasts are pretty loosey goosey, and let's get that guy straightened out. So yeah, I actually wrote a script so that I can do a short. I can take this footage and create a short out of it. So this is going to be a first. So hopefully, oh, it looks like he sent this. It looks like he posted this message about 15 minutes ago. I'm going to assume I'm doing okay. Everything seems to be working. So while you guys start coming in, I'm going to do this short. Now I'm going to be reading off a teleprompter, which is a first for me, and I'm not great at reading in public. I never have been. So hopefully this works out okay. I'm going to fire up the teleprompter, and it said this should take about a minute and 48 seconds to read. So hopefully it's not too fast. So buckle up for me reading a teleprompter for a short. But I think it's one something I've been wanting to get off my chest for a while, and then I'm going to be doing another short. I think towards the end that's going to be on the fly. So this is the scripted short. Recently, Substack blogger and comic book writer Grant Morrison said about Lanterns that the show might even be good, but how much better could this stuff have been if the studios were willing to write. Oh, see, I already messed it up. Make it a little slower. Get it 201. Recently, Substack blogger and comic book writer Grant Morrison said about Lanterns that the show might even be good, but how much better could this stuff be if the studios were willing to hire the right people for the job instead of phoning their embarrassed friends to water down the source material? Nope, that's not it. Hire the right people for the job instead of phoning their embarrassed friends to water the source material down. Now, I'm not sure what he's implying by saying that they are watering down Green Lantern. Is this because 2.5 minutes we saw from the teaser didn't show any galactic stuff? If that's the case, I have news for Grant Morrison. In 1939, Martin Odell and Bill Finger set Alan Scott, the first Green Lantern, with stories set on Earth. In 1959, Hal Jordan was introduced in the Silver Age, where he debuted. That's not good. I'm just gonna read that one. Yeah, I'm gonna. Comic Jack, how you doing? Bear with me as I record this short. You can watch all my flubs and stuff as I get through this, and then I'll get into the show proper. In 1939, Martin Odell and Bill Finger set Alan Scott, the first Green Lantern, with stories set on Earth. In 1959, the Silver Age Green Lantern debuted with a story written by John Broome, which had Hal Jordan starting off as an Earth based hero before going intergalactic. From then, other key Green Lantern runs, including writer Denny O'Neil doing Hard Traveling Heroes, which brought Hal to Earth with Green Arrow in 1980. Marv Wolfman started writing Green Lantern and set his first issue all across the globe in Zurich, New York, the North Pole. In 1990, Green Lantern Volume 3 started off with Hal Jordan on Earth. In 2004, Jeff Johns launched in 2004, Jeff Johns launched Green Lantern Rebirth, which showed the return of Hal Jordan, and that first book and that first book. This is a mouthful. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I figured this would be fun for you guys to see. In 2004, Jeff Johns launched Green Lantern Rebirth, showed the return of Hal Jordan, and that which showed the return of Hal Jordan, and that first boy, oh boy, you guys. Okay, here we go. It's a mouthful. I wrote this, and it's a mouthful. In 2004, Jeff Johns launched Green Lantern Rebirth, which showed the return of Hal Jordan, and that first book took place primarily on Earth, as did Jeff Johns' follow up series, Green Lantern No Fear, which ultimately led to the Sinestro Corps War and Blackest Night, and the story continued from there, including Robert Venditti's run. After that came, hold on, let me check my notes here real quick. It was Grant Morrison's run on the Green Lantern, and wouldn't you know it, Hal Jordan's story begins on Earth. Even Jeremy Adams, who's currently writing Green Lantern, started his series off with Hal Jordan doing some Earth-based adventures before going intergalactic. Here's the dildo. Grant Morrison says, quote, only people the only people to give a fuck about Green Lantern, okay. The only people, okay. Here's the deal though. Grant Morrison says, quote, the only people to give a fuck about the Lanterns TV series are Green Lantern fans. Why alienate them at the start? That feels more like stupid, end quote. What I think is stupid is Grant Morrison thinking that it's wise for HBO to market a show to their general audience and inundate them with over 80 years of insane Green Lantern lore. This is a teaser to intrigue regular audiences. I have friends who know little about Green Lantern, but because they know I'm a Green Lantern fan, texted me and said, hey, that looks good. HBO and DC knows that the Green Lantern fans are the only people who give a fuck about lanterns, and the problem with that is that the fan base isn't big enough to generate the ratings. I'm going to take that again. The words are so big. So I didn't know the sentence continued. Maybe my punctuation should be better. Let's say that. Okay, I'm going to start from the beginning. Oh no, that's too far back. DC studios know that the GL fans are the only people who give a fuck about the Lanterns, and the problem with that is that the fan base isn't big enough to generate the ratings numbers that HBO is hoping for. Trust me, I'm a GL based channel and I don't get the numbers I want. So HBO isn't alienating the GL fan. They are making sure they don't alienate their average viewers. In an interview with Brandon Davis, Lanterns director and executive producer James Gunn said, quote, Lanterns, won't disappoint the classic fans. We get to meet the characters in quite a rooted way before it takes you intergalactic. To me, a Green Lantern fan, that sounds like the creators to me, a Green Lantern fan, it sounds like the creators of the series are taking a page out of Green Lantern comics writer, another mouthful. Comic Jack loves this. This is going to be up on the live stream for subscribers forever. But you'll see the edited version in the next couple days where it's all nice and neat and I chop up and I split my stuff. Yeah. All right. Okay. To me, a Green Lantern fan, it sounds like the creators of the series are taking a page out of the Green Lantern comic writer's playbook, and that's starting their story based on Earth. If you're concerned about the Lantern series taking place on Earth, do me a favor. Go pick up and read a Green Lantern book. I heard they're pretty good. All right. So that's that. I've been wanting to do that short for like 2 or 3 weeks now, and I wrote that again like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I've been meaning to do the short, but I've been so busy, so I thought it would be fun to sort of force myself to do it in a live stream. And I figured that you guys might get a kick out of that. Yeah, Comic Jack is laughing. Love this. I might do it again. I think once I'm done with this stream, where we talk about Hal on Earth, I think I'm gonna do another one. I'm gonna do another short, but it's not gonna be scripted. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, today I wanted to talk about the Lantern show and all the sort of like BS copy and paste opinions. A lot of people who think that, listen, I've been reading Green Lantern for 37 years. since 1990. And I'd like to think that I know a lot about Green Lantern. I'm no expert. Believe me, I'm no expert. I've never claimed to be an expert, but I do know a thing or two about Green Lantern. And it's, I just need to keep practicing. I think I'm done with that. Riverside will let me chop that up into a cohesive short. I think it's, what do they call that? Anxiety, public speaking. I get a little bit of anxiety doing that sort of stuff. But I'll do another short towards the end of the stream because I want to talk about this. It seems like since the Lanterns trailer came out, there have been like hundreds and hundreds of experts coming out of the woodwork to explain to me in the comments how Green Lantern works. And again, I've been reading Green Lantern for almost 40 years. And in that time, I've read the current book. So since 1990, I've read those books as they came out through Rebirth, through New 52, through Grant Morrison, to Jeremy Adams, and all the Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps books. And in that time, I've also gone back and read Silver Age, and I've gotten pretty far in to where I'm meeting back up with the '90s Green Lantern. I have a ways to go. I'm about to like 19. Oh my gosh, like 70. So maybe I got like still like another decade to go, or decade and a half to go to read all of Green Lantern. So I tend to like, I feel like I know a thing or two, and then people coming in, like one of the complaints when Hal Jordan flies, people copy and pasted the same thing that they saw at other places, and they have opinions. And this could be a genuine opinion. You could have a genuine opinion that Hal Jordan, when he flew in the trailer, didn't glow green. It's true, he didn't, and that can make you mad. I get it. In the comics, they don't always glow green when Green Lanterns fly, and especially on Earth. Usually, the green line or force field around them is to sort of help them breathe in space, protect them from the cold of space, and like gravity and all kinds of stuff. It's a protective layer. Sometimes when they fly on Earth, they don't glow green. You know, that's just how it is. They don't always glow green. I didn't hear a single person complain to me in my comments about Nathan Fillion not glowing green in Superman. Not once. I didn't hear it once. People kind of bitched and complained that his constructs weren't tethered to the ring, which again, doesn't always happen. That's not always a thing. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. So I get it if you don't like that Hal wasn't glowing green when he flew in the Lanterns trailer. Fine, have that opinion. But a lot of this sounds like people online looking to bitch and complain about something, and going and seeing what other people are complaining about and copying and pasting that opinion. So that's what it feels like. If you were able to understand any of the short that I fumbled my way through, another complaint that I keep reading is Green Lantern takes place in space. Green Lantern takes place in space. True, it does. The majority of Green Lantern takes place in space. But again, if you look at almost every single main iteration of the character, Green Lantern, even back with Alan Scott, and the reason I brought up Alan Scott because I think he might be integral to the Lantern show. So, like, from 1939 until the most recent run, Jeremy Adams, pretty much almost everybody starts with a few issues of Hal Jordan on Earth. It's just how it is. It's always been that way. Because Green Lantern is a lot to take in. And if you have like a number one issue and someone's picking that up for the first time, they're going to be lost. So for me, like, the fact that the writers of the show are doing this as well, um, shows that they know what they're doing, you know. Even Grant Morrison, who was bitching and complaining about it being watered down, the show being watered down, dude started his run on Green Lantern, what, 10 years ago? It wasn't that long ago. Started his run with Hal Jordan on Earth. It was like for an issue. And he did have a sort of a, before they got to Hal Jordan, they had some Green Lantern stuff in space. But even the movie did that. The Green Lantern movie started with Abin Sur and then went to Earth, where Hal Jordan spent the majority of his time on Earth. It's how Green Lanterns always start. Even if you watch Green Lantern the animated series, which takes place 99% in outer space, the very first like 3 minutes, 2 minutes is Hal Jordan on Earth. When they come back for the second half of season one, Hal Jordan is on Earth. If you watch Green Lantern First Flight, the first like pre-title sequence is Hal Jordan on Earth. It always starts with Hal Jordan on Earth. If you have an 8 issue or an 8 episode season of a show that has fucking power rings, guardians, uh, uh, lantern cores, 3600 space sectors, aliens, all this stuff, you probably want to start the show on Earth instead of just inundating just the your average Joe HBO viewer with all that fucking Green Lantern lore. You just can't do it. You can't do it. There's no way you can do it. So if anybody has any concerns with what like Lindelof is doing or Chris Mundy or Tom King, it's clear they understand the source material by starting Hal Jordan on Earth. It makes so much sense. So for me, anyone who kind of complains about that aspect is they need to read Green Lantern or watch any Green Lantern anything. It always starts on Earth. Always. There's a couple that don't. So Jeffrey Thorne's run did not start on Earth. The opening page is great artwork of John Stewart surrounded by a bunch of alien lanterns, and I really I think he's continuing on from a different story. I'm not exactly sure, but like Robert Venditti also picked up where Jeff Johns left off, which was already things were going galactic. So for me, like that's that one argument has been driving me nuts, and then to find out that Grant Morrison was bitching about that too, kind of upset me. And then it turns out like when he did his apology for his Substack, he mentioned he didn't even watch the trailer. He was only going saying things based on what other people were seeing in the trailer, uh, which he got mad at Damon Lindelof for having to write like an apology when Damon Lindelof you know Grant Morrison was doing the very thing that he was against. The news picked up that one line that he was complaining about Damon Lindelof, and people ran with that one line where Grant Morrison was doing the same thing and just bitching and moaning based on what he heard instead of actually watching the trailer. So maybe you should watch it. The artwork I used for the thumbnail for this episode is one of the opening panels from Grant Morrison's run. It's Liam Sharp artwork, and it looks like the Lantern Show first artwork or first image that we saw with Hal Jordan and John Stewart walking down a desert road. So it's so funny that Grant Morrison was one of the ones that was bitching about this show being watered down when basically a panel from his book looks like the first image we saw from the show. So I don't know what his deal is, but there's that aspect. Other things that people are upset about are the suit. Again, the show didn't say that was Hal Jordan's suit. They didn't say whose suit that was. It was hanging in the closet. I believe it's Alan Scott's closet, so people can cool out and not worry about that. People, again, aren't keen on the power battery. Again, I think that's Alan Scott's. I've gone over that. We've talked about it. I've done shorts based on that. Um, there's something else in the trailer that people are complaining about, and I haven't brought it up because I didn't have an answer. Because usually what I like to do is give things the benefit of the doubt, and if there's something that I'm like that doesn't seem right, I try to work it out in my head before going online and bitching and complaining. And I recommend other people do that as well, because when you're proven wrong, then you look like an idiot. So there's one line in the trailer that sort of I've been wrestling with. And a lot of other people have been wrestling with. There's a line in the show where Jon Stewart asks Hal Jordan, "Do you talk to the other lanterns?" Okay, cool. The question is, do you talk to the other lanterns? Hal Jordan replies, "I'm the only human. They're aliens." Now, outrage. Holy shit. What are they talking about? I thought this was supposed to be connected. Guy Gardner's Green Lantern. He's a human. What's happening? How could this be? I figured it out this week. And this is the thing that's putting me at ease and sort of answering that question. Jon Stewart asks, "Do you talk to the other lanterns?" Great. Hal Jordan does not say anything about him being the only human Green Lantern. He says, "I'm the only human. They're aliens." So here's the thing. Hal Jordan is not saying, "I'm the only human Green Lantern." He does not say those words. He does not say, "I'm the only human Green Lantern." He says, "I'm the only human. They're aliens." Now, Hal Jordan was not on Earth during the events of Superman. I could assume. I would think that Hal Jordan would show up to Metropolis while it was getting ripped in half. Guy is clearly the Green Lantern of Earth. This is my thought. Imagine this. What if John asks, this has been edited, right? What if John asks, "You're in the honor guard. Do you talk to the other lanterns?" And he says, "I'm the only human. They're aliens." So, this is my thought. Hal hasn't been on Earth for a while because he's an honor guard member. And much like Green Lantern the animated series, Hal's off planet for a long time in frontier space, and while he's gone, he becomes an honor guard member. And while he's gone, Guy Gardner is the Green Lantern of Earth. Because in episode, I don't know, it's the first episode of the second half of season 1 of Green Lantern, the animated series. Hal Jordan comes back to Earth and Guy is running things. So, that's my thought. Hal Jordan is an honor guard member. He never says Green Lantern, so it's Jon Stewart saying, "You're an honor guard. Have you talked to any of the other lanterns? I'm the only human. They're aliens." So I'm assuming this is my thing. Hal isn't saying he's the only human Green Lantern. He's saying he's the only human honor guard member. And that's why he's been gone so long. He's not in retirement. He's been out in space for years. For years. And Guy Gardner's the replacement. And Guy Gardner, if you read Green Lantern 87, the first appearance of Jon Stewart, Guy gets hit by a bus. And the Guardians choose Jon Stewart as the Green Lantern, and Hal Jordan comes to hang out with Jon Stewart to show him the ropes. So they could be mashing up a Green Lantern the animated series style story where Hal's already experienced. Clearly, he's an older Green Lantern. He's seen it all. He's in the honor guard. and John Stewart's brand new, would probably get trained by Guy Gardner, but maybe Guy Gardner gets hit by a bus, and that's where all the F bombs from Nathan Fillion come from. So for me, to sort out that line, Hal is an honor guard member. That's what I'm thinking. That's that's what I'm thinking. I agree that Hal probably doesn't like Guy. Who does? No one really likes Guy, except in a battle. Guy's good for that. I believe that they've crossed paths. I think they've crossed paths. It's just Hal's off planet, being an honor guard Green Lantern, and Guy is here. Let's see here. And wasn't Guy working for Lord Tech as opposed to being a full time in the Corps? Yeah, he was. But that's Guy not doing his duties as a Green Lantern, because maybe he's just taking care of Earth and Hal's off in space. But I want to say like Hal is honor guard member, and that's the context of that scene, which is chopped up for comedic effect in the trailer as a post title button. So for me, that's what I think is happening. Hal is honor guard, is off Earth. Guy is currently in the position to just be on Earth. Think he gets hit by a bus because we know he's said the most F bombs he's ever said in all of his stuff combined. And we know that he's worked with only Aaron Pierre and not Kyle Chandler. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. My wife got it for me for Christmas, or my sister got it for my birthday. It says Hope. My Blue Lantern hat. I like it. I like it a lot. So that's my theory. Let me know what you guys think of that. Yeah. Will, it's been weird. I'm like, I know you got married. Congrats. And I know you've been on like a vacation, honeymoon, whatever you want to call it. But it's been like, I've been so like anxious about you not being around. I like miss the Green Lanterns podcast. I'm glad you're getting your time away from all the work and the podcasting and stuff. But it's good to see you. It's great to have like confirmation, proof of life, as it were. Yeah. Wikipedia says Nathan Fillion is listed as part of the main cast. It's tough with IMDb and Wikipedia because they are member generated. So I can go in there and say I'm in Green Lantern. I could say I'm in the main cast. So anyone can do anything with those. But Nathan Fillion I do know he's at least in one episode, and he's only worked with Aaron Pierre. So we'll see. He's a big enough name, so I could see like why they would list him as main cast. I could see him in episode 1 getting injured either by a bus or something else, and then him getting and Nathan Fillion credit at the end. Yeah, I'm not sure. But Will, I know you just got in, but I sent you this text earlier in the week. What do you think of this thing where Hal Jordan says, I'm the only, was it? I'm the only human. They're aliens. Could he be talking about the honor guard? Because he does not say I'm the only Green Lantern. And John Stewart asks him, do you talk to the other lanterns? So for me, I think that could be a workaround. It's straight up at like Green Lantern, the animated series, Hal Jordan coming back to Earth and finding Guy Gardner in charge. One of my favorite storylines in Green Lantern, the animated series, is that everybody loves Guy Gardner. The news reporters, the citizens, the Guardians. Appa Aliapsa is like a curmudgeon, and he's like the worst guardian. Like he's just like a real turd. Loves Guy Gardner. It's so funny. It's so funny to me. So yeah, I'm thinking anybody who popped in late, Vactor, Will, Dave. I don't know if you were here. You put in a chat before I started streaming, but Comics Jack was here. I did a short. I think it was last week or the week before. You guys were asking me to do the short that I had written. I did that live. Yeah, it could be I'm the only human in the honor guard. It could also be I'm the only human. So he feels like like the others wouldn't understand Earth-based problems specifically. Yeah, yeah. But he never says I'm the only human Green Lantern because we know Guy Gardner is. Yeah, and also we think Alan Scott existed. So yeah, we'll see how the scene shakes out. But that's my thing that's making me feel better about that one line that I was confused about. You know, the rest of the stuff with people complaining that it's on Earth, with people complaining that Hal doesn't glow green and all that stuff. Um, that stuff I figured out. That line I'm the only human. That one I couldn't figure out until I think recently. I think that's the case. I think I'm gonna get going. I know it's been like a half hour or so. I thought about doing a short based on the I'm the only human, but I think I got enough stuff in my conversation with you guys to sort of piece something together, and then I'm gonna go edit that short that I did about Green Lantern starting on Earth, and yeah, do okay, Comic Jack. This is something good. We could talk about this. The characters and plot are all shrouded in this big mystery from DC. I'm sure they edited out a lot of things from the trailer. I guarantee you that they're looking at their stuff off screen that they're teasing that we don't get to see. Shots before and after the suit in the closet that are going to make more sense when we see it. We're going to get context to that power battery, context to why John doesn't have a ring. Dude, Will, more shorts. I'm gonna try to do more shorts. Listen, I've been super busy, and I need to trust Riverside because Riverside has been picking out great shorts for from my episodes. So I might just start pulling those just to throw up content on TikTok and Instagram because they're really putting together some good stuff. Maybe I have to trim stuff here and there, but for the most part, like I need to really get into that because as we get closer to lanterns, people it'll help people find the page more. So I'm gonna try to do shorts like as much as I can, as much as I can. You know, I did have a good Easter. I don't really celebrate other than the fact that I eat all the egg shaped candies I can. Reese's eggs, Reese's Pieces eggs, which are like the Reese's Pieces but like a little bit bigger. They're like the Cadbury mini eggs. Highly recommend those. Um, Being super busy is great. The problem is I'm super busy with stuff that's not Green Lantern. So it drives me nuts. Like I want to just like, I wish I could quit my job. I wish I could just the only thing I want to do is like go do my photography and do Lanterns Live. That's all I want to do. But we also have Invincible is out now, which I absolutely love Invincible. So I've been working with my friend James Hewlett doing Invincipod. So there's I've been doing this is I'm gonna have 3 podcast episodes this week. Um, I saw an Easter Guy Gardner. Is it like a gardener, an actual gardener for Easter? Um, can't wait for all the theories, conversations for lanterns. We were just getting started. Yeah, dude. Like I'll be doing. I need to know what time of day lantern shows up on the West Coast because I might be doing live streams directly following directly following the episodes. So watch them as quick as you can. Um, oh crap. Okay. Let me see. Will just sent me this link. Um, let's see. Window. Hold on. Hold on, guys. He sent me this thing. And it just says Happy Easter. I'll get used to sharing and stuff on here. It says Happy Easter. Oh my gosh. Look how tiny that is. Now it's even tinier. Show layouts. There we go. There we go. That's pretty nuts. Like, that's like real out in the world? Did someone make that? It's got to be like custom made. Yeah, that's custom made for sure. Yeah, but it's pretty rad. That's pretty rad. I like that. I like that a whole lot. Make it real. Guy Gardner's in the public mind now. So, yeah, yeah. Someone made it. I wonder if they had like a Guy Gardner statue that they made a mold of for the chocolate. Like that's great. Or they 3D printed something. Or yeah, that's really cool. Chocolate rings too. That's awesome. Cool. Let's see. Anything else? Anything else? Yeah, Comic Jack. If you want to check out Invincipod, I do that with my friend every week after a new show. Usually Fridays. We'll be live Friday at 1 o'clock Pacific time. So we'll be checking out episode 6 of Invincible, which episode 5. Oh boy! If you haven't seen episode 5 of Invincible yet for season 4, it's quite a it's quite a thing. So I highly recommend checking that one out. And then you could go check out our episode from last week. Just realized I'm not wearing my watch. Been out in the sun a lot lately. Um, all right, I think I'm good. I'm gonna go work on that short, and then I'm going to see if I can't get another short out of the thing. So, thank you guys for your support. I appreciate it. So far, we're about a month in on the Riverside, and I'm kind of getting used to it. Um, yeah, yeah. So Will's watching it as well. Yeah, you got a couple. You've got some catching up to do. Do the next two tonight. Episode 4 is good if you're a fan of the Invincible book. Episode 4 is a story that's not in the Invincible book. It's a story that Robert Kirkman always wanted to put in the book but never had a chance to, and so now he's doing it here. Um, yeah, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Green Lantern Corps 15 comes out. I'll be joined by Vactor. We're starting at a different time to accommodate Vactor's work schedule. So we'll be here 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. That's 9 Eastern. So it's a little bit later. Maybe we'll get some more viewers. I don't know. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. So I'll see you in 2 days for Green Lantern Corps 15. And then I'll see you guys Friday if you guys feel like watching Invincipod. It's just Invincipod. Look it up. Um, yeah, yeah. Thanks, guys. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for joining me live, and we'll see how that short turns out. For those of you that weren't here for me reading that short, Comic Jack said it was hilarious. Go back and watch me fumble through my own writing, and then go to like TikTok and Instagram and right here on YouTube to see the finished short as it's edited. So, all right, everyone, see ya. Keep those rings charged, and especially these blue ones, because we need a lot of hope. Even though that is a Sinestro fear symbol, they're different. Yeah. See you guys.